But nobody's coming back. You're going to have to.
I know.
It's a shame.
Yeah, it's terrible.
How long has this gym been here? Do you know how long this gym has been here?
A long time. I mean, I think it's like 40-some years.
Yeah, because I've been in the area for close to 30.
Yeah.
And it's been here.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah, that's why Rebecca and I said to it's a mainstay. I think. Let me think if you can, I don't know, find a way to hang on to January. Yeah, people might say they might be nervous when the weather gets cold and they go outside and walk or do. They might get back to the gym.
I'm having trouble. I don't think you can hear me, can you?
Yes, I can.
Oh, you can.
Yeah,
Okay.
So I'm going to try to do what I can do, and
Okay.
we'll see how it goes. I'm excited though.
Okay. Good.
I have this brace on my ankle, so I should
All
prevent.
right. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for doing this.
Certainly.
Everything's pretty sparse every class I've been in.
Yeah.
There's Hillary. Hi, Hillary.
There's Hillary.
Ellen, how are you?
Hi, Hillary.
Can you see her?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
It's me.
Yes, there you are. So, yes. Nothing like old friends.
The pale face behind. This is so nice. Like even when you go out, you don't have to buy. I go with my niece got married last Saturday. Like, oh, a little mascara on. Why am I going to bother with blush and lipstick? No one's going to see it.
All right. I just want to be sure that you can hear me.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. That's really important. Let's take a moment on the floor, please. I never know whether to say good morning or good afternoon, so both of them. And just spend a little bit of time on the floor, just doing a bridge, maybe hugging your knees in, finding your upper ab curl, finding your breath.
I got a couple of today. Nice. Charlie and Cheryl might be babysitting the grandkids.
And I'm going to sure that. So we'll start down today. Last week we started up, but we'll start down. And just pause for a moment. Just kind of gather yourself. Feel the weight of your head, your hips, your ribs. And when you come into, shortly, not right now, but when you come into your upper ab curl, I want you to realize that your ribs have shifted in order to do that. So your ribs, I can show you in a moment. I just feel like it's really important to be able to realize that it's not just our head, neck, and shoulders that are moving, you know, the upper part of our spine, but I'll show you. I feel that my ribs are actually pressing down, and they're pressing down and spinning in order to find my upper ab curl. I just want you to try that in a moment. So the ribs press down, they drop down, and they kind of come up and around so that you can find, so they mimic the shape of, or actually your spine mimics the shape of what your ribs just did. Does that make sense to anybody? A little bit? Yeah, I want you to be able to move your ribs. So let's try that again. I'm just going to have my hands on my ribs. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, the ribs go down and they sort of help the spine come into this shape. So your spine is mimicking what your ribs did. And then the ribs go down and the spine goes down too. Take a few more like that. Find your breath. Be able to move up to your shoulder blades. I'd like you to have the tip of the shoulder blades on the mat. Or maybe even the shoulder blades come off the mat. Because I actually want you to feel that you could roll up almost. So ribs go down on your exhale and you come up and over. And that's how your roll up starts as well. But you end here at your upper ab curl. And then take a nice stretch, arms and legs. And remember that one of the things people say about Pilates is that it's one big stretch instead of one big crunch. You have a nice elongated spine that you put into certain positions. All right, so now bring your hands back behind your head or neck. I like to support my head. And then you'll take your inhale. Exhale, the ribs move. You shift head, neck, and shoulders up. You find a gaze for your eyes. And then bring your legs into your frog. And you're going to go out and in. So you inhale out, exhale in. Please listen for any cues that I might give you. You have 2 more. Remember that the pelvis doesn't move at all. After 5, you'll bring your legs together, slightly point your toes, and you'll go out and in again. Inhale out, exhale back in. Your breath is really important, so bring the breath into the rib cage. You have 2 more. Make sure you have equal weight on both sides of your hips. And after 5 of those, we're just going to go a little bit faster with flexed heels. You go out and in. I'm going to stop a moment and watch you. Good. So stretch your legs fully if you can. Very nice. Hips stay still. You're not curling your tailbone at all. And when you're finished your 5, just go ahead and take head, neck, and shoulders down. And you can bring your legs in toward your body. You can curl your tailbone here if you want to. Just notice the difference. And you can circle the legs either together or separately. Hands can be on your knees to do that. Now take a long stretch again. So maybe the arms don't stretch, or maybe they do, but the legs definitely stretch. And then I want you to feel that you are elongating your spine. Your pelvis is going to stay neutral. You're going to come into your hundreds working level position. So I'm going to bring my legs into tabletop. I'm going to drop my ribs down so I can come up and over, finding my hundreds working level. You'll begin to inhale to pump and exhale. I remember doing this and not being able to breathe. It was a long time ago. But I really want you to feel your rib cage like an accordion. We've done 30, keep going. Nice, Hillary, it's good to have you back with your arms like that. Yeah, nice, Ava, these look great. Nice, Lisa. So you're just gonna keep going. You have probably 3 or 4 more breaths. Make sure your arms are straight, Mary Ellen, so that the elbow doesn't bend if you can. Good. I know, they look straight. Mine used to look straight. Okay, make sure they are. That's how you're gonna get your triceps to work. Good, when you're finished, roll yourself down, recover, head, neck can go from side to side. Make sure that that was in the abs. And now let's come up to a seated position. We're gonna roll down before we roll up. So you can bend your knees a little bit if you want to, but basically you're going to have a nice tall spine. So the first thing that has to happen in your roll up, your roll down, is your pelvis needs to move, just like your ribs moved. So your pelvis is going to move back and around your legs, and you're rolling your spine down. Take as much breath as you need to go down. And then on the way up, you know that the ribs go down so that you have the head, neck, and shoulders rounding up and over, and you just keep going. Make this into a nice, elongated, round shape, and then curling back down. Remember, it's the pelvis that has to move around your legs. You're stretching, right? You're counting vertebra. You're breathing. Keep going. Elongate. Try to stretch the abdominals rather than crunch them. Good. Remember that the head is leading, so it still has to keep going. And on the right way down, the pelvis is leading, so it still has to keep going and going and going until it's level. We'll do it 2 more times. Any speed works. Make sure you're on both sides of the spine, not just one. Beautiful connection, Lisa, with your TheraBand. Great idea. Keep the neck long, Ava, on the way down. Yep. Good. One more. And you should feel longer, more stretched out. This isn't just about coming up and down, it's about really lengthening. There's a goal here to lengthen your spine. Very nice. When you get down, we're going to do roll over, but we're going to add a little prep to it. So if some of you want to, you could take your hands underneath your hips. So I sort of have my thumb and first fingers in a little triangle here. It's a diamond shape actually. And then my shoulders are going to probably roll in a little bit, but I'm just going to try to keep my collarbone line and then bring my legs up. And there's a little boost that I can get here, but my belly has to drop down. So my pelvis has to move, right? And I'm just going to roll my spine up. My legs are going to come apart slightly. That's just a distance of your hip bones. And then flex your heels and take your spine down underneath your legs. So that's one way you could do it, just to give yourself a little boost. If that is something that you feel like you need, do it. Do a little momentum. But basically, it's the roll up that you just did, only now you're rolling over. It's the same principle. Keep going, keep breathing. There are 6 of these. They are leg circles with a roll up and a roll down in between.
Huh?
We expected you here, but you're there.
Yes, we had a little plumbing emergency here.
I'm so sorry. Anything added to whatever we have is kind of puts us over the edge here. So we're finished our rollover, and I just want you to stay down for a moment, and then just press the heel of your hand right into the hip crease, and see if that doesn't give you a little space in a little tractioning of your lower spine. And I want you to keep that space. It's really hard. It gets all irritated, and I just want you to be able to push into that space and make some space here. We're going to do the tree exercise. We'll start on our right leg being our tree. So it's a roll up, so it's going to be hard, right? It's going to be wonderful. You keep your leg where that right leg is slightly pointed, the left toes are flexed. Again, you drop your ribs down so you can come up and over them, and you go left, right, make a connection to your leg, and then go back down. It's the spine doing the work, the leg follows, the eyes follow. Good. And again, the ribs need to move so that you can move head, neck, and shoulders over it. And then go down, moving your pelvis around your legs. These are great. We come up for the 3rd time. And then take your hands lightly on your leg and let your leg rest in your hands. And then you're going to draw the elbows out to the side as the leg comes closer, and exhale away. So I like to exhale actually to bring the leg toward me, but you decide what you want to do. Now hold the leg here, and then just point and flex and circle the ankle. Both directions, just get a lot of movement there. Then we'll take the hands off the leg. We're going into single leg circles. So your spine is going down because the belly is drawing it down. Lengthening, 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 using your eyes. And then when you're down, your leg goes up. We're going to do 2 with the hips on and 3 more with hips off. So hips on means the pelvis doesn't move and the leg goes across your body and finishes your full circle. And 1 more. Now we'll do it with the hips off. So you're going to use your oblique muscles to take one hip on top of the other. And then the hip goes back down. And you do that again. 2 on, 2 off, 3 off, sorry. Now hug that knee in just for a moment. Same leg, single leg circles, hips on. It goes to the outside of your body first, drawing a circle. So if your hands are on the hips or on your belly, you'll notice what's happening. So that was 2. And then the one with hips off, you take the hip and take it on top of the other hip. So it's a little spiral that you're doing in your hips. You should feel some oblique muscles. That leg is long. So just noticing the difference. And then hug that knee in. Take any stretches that you want. You can take the leg to the outside of the body to get the inner thigh stretch. This is always great. I T-band stretch across your body. So all these stretches are available to you in your single leg circles, but we don't usually think about them. Now switch your legs. So the right leg is down, foot is flexed. Left leg is your tree, slightly pointed. Remember to drop the ribs down. There's movement in your spine to round up and over. Use your eyes. And then coming down, watch the gaze. All the way down and then all the way up, sequentially, hollowing out the belly to bring yourself back up and down. The collarbones are wide, shoulder blades go down. You're wrapping into that upper connection. Beautiful. And if you've already wrapped in the lower connection, that'll keep you nice and stable. We'll come up for that 3rd time and then just take the hands lightly on the leg. Try not to yank on the leg. Draw the belly in. As the elbows go wide, the leg comes in. Again, I like to do it on an exhale, but certainly find your inhale and exhale the way you want it. The leg is reaching out to go up. And then keep it up there and point and flex and circle. And breathe and draw the shoulders down. And your sternum is soft here. Then you're taking the hands off the leg and you're rolling your spine down. Pelvis has to move. Belly has to go deep, deep. And then 2 on. When the leg goes up, it goes across your body. Hips don't move. You can take your hands on your hips to acknowledge that. And then off, your hip is going to stack on the other hip. And then it's going to unstack. And then again, it should feel good to move like this. It's a big stretch. And one more like that. And then just briefly hug that leg in. Stretch it up again. Go the opposite direction. It goes out to the side and across. With your hips on. Remember those nice juicy stretches? Now hips off means as it goes across, your hip starts to stack on the other hip, and then you untwist. Ribs are still down toward the mat. You're still aware of the rib cage. After 3, you take your nice stretches. It could be that the knee comes in. It could be straight leg out to the side, across. Make sure there's some length in your hip instead of crunching it. And then you should feel great. So let's just prove that. Just bring your knees in towards your chest and it should feel really good. Nice and loose, hopefully, a little looser in your hips. And now let's roll like a ball. So you'll just come up to a seated position, finding you're rolling like a ball. So the hands are on the shins and the shins are pressing into the hands. That's the start of this. And you've moved the pelvis back. So now you're in your shape. Notice your eyes. So I have them right in between my inner thighs at the top of my legs. I'm going to try to keep that shape and inhale back. And exhale up. Ugh, so hard. Keep going. Nice, you guys. Nice. Slow it down if you can. Notice the gaze of your eyes. Lift the hips so that you can totally invert yourself. Nice job. And then take any other version of this that you like. Sometimes people take their inside of the elbows to the outside of the knees. And don't forget to press the legs into the arms as well as the arms into the legs. And try it that way. It's much harder. But that's your, yep, there you go. Nice job. Now let's go into our ab series. So pause for a moment. And let's just roll down to our upper ab curl. Remember, where it is. You're going to take both hands on your right knee, right leg, sorry. So notice your gaze. Inhale to switch, exhale to switch. I have to tell you, with a mask on, it's really hard to find this gaze, right? Right, you guys in the room?
Yeah.
This is called single leg stretch, so stretch it and stretch that single leg stretch. Good, now both hands are on the respective shins. Inhale, arms and legs. Now circle your arms around low so you can get into your lat muscles in the upper wrap. Keep the pelvis still, keep the inner thighs together. You have 3 more. I'm gonna do scissors a little differently today. Looks good. 1 more. Now scissors, take the left leg all the way down to the floor and bring the right leg up and press the left leg down. And you're gonna do that with each switch. Inhale to switch, press the right leg down now and keep going. So it is, in a way, it is a double leg stretch, right? You're stretching both legs, staying in your upper ab curl, finding the gaze between your legs. Now take your hands back behind your head. Pause for a moment. Just pause. Legs up. Make sure your pelvis is level. You're going to push the thighs, the back of the legs away down toward the floor. And they still want to go away, but you're pulling them in with your belly. And then you're going to push them away and pull them in. You have 3 more. Notice your gaze, that's still important. Notice the ribs are still pulling back and you're rounding over them. Now when you begin to twist, you're just getting this nice massage, right in your middle back, middle upper back. And it's a single leg stretch again. So you want to feel the opposition of 1 knee in, 1 out. Oh, you should feel this in your belly like crazy. And then release down. And I get it if you didn't, but it would be really nice if you could feel it right here. Because you're rounding up and over that spot. So let's come on up to a seated position. You can do a roll up to get there. I'm going to turn around this way. All right, so first time sitting. So I think there's a reason that we don't sit right away, right? Because I feel great now. If I had started this way, my hips would have been so like unhappy. But now I have some opening in my hips. My legs are long, arms go out in front, wide collarbone. Pull down here so you can connect. Inhale here. As you exhale, I feel like the head, the neck goes first, then my ribs have to pull back and up, so I feel an upper ab curl, and then I pull back into this imaginary wall, and I get a stretch, and I move my arms forward, but they're still connected, and then stacking back up from the base of my spine. So there's a lot to this exercise. Don't miss it. Keep going. Yeah, it's more up and over, like a little inchworm goes up and over. You should be so elongated in your spine, right? It's amazing. And then when you stack up, make sure you stack up from the tailbone and the pubic bone, connecting, and do it that way rather than start at your navel or something, because you don't want to miss that. These look great. So take a stretch, and that might mean that the belly pulls back in toward your spine even more, but your head, neck, and shoulders are relaxing. But you're still lifting to create space. So you should feel a stretch in your spine. Now let's stack our spines back up and go into open leg rocker. So our second rolling exercise. So arms go inside of your legs and you hold on to the front of your ankles. Now use the belly to roll back to lift the legs, and then pause a moment and make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Make sure you can feel your upper connection. Inhale to straighten the right leg. Exhale to bend it. Don't be in such a hurry. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to bend. See if you can feel your hamstrings bending your leg. Inhale, you feel your stretch of your hamstrings. Exhale, the hamstrings are working. 1 more. Inhale. Actually, you should feel the belly in this too. Both legs, inhale. Concentrate on the belly work. Now, keep your legs here. Take your hands on the back of the legs. They can be under the knees, right? Your knees can bend. Ideally, they're straight and they're maybe hip distance. Find your gaze. Inhale back. Exhale up. So I went a little too far, but I want you to feel that your breath is blowing you up, right? So it's returning you to your position. And pretend that you're on this little precipice, you know, so you're not only getting up to feel good, you're getting up to balance. Remember, it's a balance up there. So if you want to prove it to yourself, you could find that little balance. Here's what we're going to do. So this is my teaser pretty much. I'm going to find a little balance. I'm just going to go a little bit backward and a little bit forward. And I'm just going to make that bigger and bigger. I'm going to go a little backward, a little forward. And I want you to get bigger and bigger to the point where you're doing your actual roll. Just for fun. Yeah, nice, Lisa. That's totally it. Yeah, so you really feel that it's not about momentum or anything. It's purely that breath that's helping you to do that. So let's go ahead and did that make a difference at all? Let's roll your spines down. I'm making this easy on you today. So just roll down and stretch out. So we just did those exercises called spine stretch. Did it work? You know, is your spine stretched? And now bring your legs safely up toward 90. Now your tailbone is elongated. The pelvis is level. The legs are together like one leg. And you're going to take them over to the right. And you finish this full circle around the center to the left. Your hips do not move on this one. I got called on this exercise, by the way. Oh, by the way. Right? My hips were like very subtly doing what they wanted to do. And it was amazing. As soon as I made my hips stay where they were, I felt so much more work in my belly. And it really made a difference. So I'm just encouraging you to feel that. And then you're going to go ahead and hug your knees in. Do a full roll up to a seated position. So remember, the ribs have to go down so you have something to come up and over. Once you're up, take a nice stretch, little evaluation of how you feel, because we're seated again. And now you're going to be twisting. So you're going to take your arms out to the side in your peripheral view. Relax your shoulders down. Get connected in those lower connection and upper connection, and then move through it. You're just going to inhale here. Exhale, twist to your right, and then lift up and over. This is a spine stretch twisted. Back up while you're twisted, and then untwist. Spine stretch twisted. It's stretched, but you're also twisting. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Stretch back up. Keep going. We're doing 2 more to each side. Your legs are strong. They're not budging. The heels, the toes and the knees are facing straight up. Your arms are in opposition to one another. They're stretching away from one another. It feels really good to stretch your arms, stretch your legs, stretch your spine. So I'm just going to wait until you're finished. When you are, I want you to know that you're coming over onto the belly. Don't rush. But once on the belly, you still want to stretch. So take a moment to feel what you can feel here. Like I like to, my hands are right underneath my forehead, but my hips are nice and elongated down onto the mat. And then I'm keeping my hips there and lifting a leg and stretching it away just to get some more length there. And then for me, I take my hands underneath my belly And I pull my belly in and up and in and up, and my ribs too, so that everything is prepared. And then I shrug my shoulders, take my hands underneath my shoulders. Now I'm thinking about a stretch in the front body, but I'm also thinking about an elongated neck and lower spine, and the muscles of my back are going to lift and open my chest as I come forward and up, but I still feel my legs pressing down on the mat. And then I'm going to elongate. This is like a spine stretch on your belly. Do that a couple times, really taking the spine in two different directions, right? Peeling it apart, widening your collarbone, letting your, what happens is your ribs are actually moving here. So feel some movement in your spine, and then go into a swan dive if you'd like. Swan dive means you have to stay in that same shape. It's a rolling exercise. You're basically rolling, right? It feels almost like you're doing rolling like a ball in reverse. I don't know if you can feel that. Sit back into child's pose when you're finished. Take your time. We're going to come forward onto our forearms with fists. Prepare yourself the same way. Prepare yourself by pressing. We're just going to do this one time. I'd like you to press your top of your feet down and lift your knees off. And can you tell that that's engaging your hamstrings? I hope. Now go ahead and let the top of the knees go down to the mat. And pull your chest forward between your arms. Now notice your gaze here, really important. Where are you looking? Is the back of the neck long? Take an inhale to bend your right knee. Don't move your hips. And then take an exhale to bend your left. So I'm getting cramps in my feet, so I'm pointing and flexing and down. And point and flex and down. And I'm stretching my abdominals. I'm feeling connected to the side of my body. That's really good. Press the top of your knee down as you bend your knee, and elongate the knee out of your hip as you bend. You can get so much out of this. I hope you're feeling it. Beautiful, Ava. Let's come on to our left facial cheek, turning our head to the right. Take your hands on your back. Prepare your spine, right? You prepare by taking the belly pulling in and up. Make sure the ribs are pulling in and up. And you'll take an inhale here. As you exhale, bend both knees. 1, 2, 3 times, getting those hamstrings to fire. Put the feet down and then stretch out of your center in both directions. And then turn your head the other direction and exhale, kick. Keep going. Use your breath to help get you deep into the belly. It tends to kind of fall out, and the ribs start to drop out as well. So you want to keep everything enclosed. Yeah, nice, deliberate hamstring curls. Beautiful. So I'm going to ask you that you come up for this last time. If you need to do another one to even you out, I want you to stay here, and I'm showing you. I want you to shrug your shoulders. Shrug your shoulders. And then go ahead and sit back into child's pose. Your back should be really tired because it was working. And let's just see how it feels when we come to neck pull. So all the work that we just did, opening up the hips and then stretching the spine, using the back muscles, using the front muscles, should really allow you to sit taller and with a little bit more freedom. So the legs are in line with your hip bones, but you still have a feeling of inner thighs connected, even though they're not physically connected. I'm going to take my hands back behind my neck, and I'm going to traction up. But I'm also pulling triceps down. And I'm going to feel my abdominals right here, pulling in and up. I'm going to hinge back with a long spine. And then I'm going to curl my pelvis with my abs. I'm going to elongate. I'm curling my rib cage, and I'm down. Now I have to come up, so I have to drop the ribs down so I can come up and over. I have to pull the belly back, and now I'm rounding up and over. And then you stack back up and go again. So hinging with a long spine, so as long as you can get it. Nice, Lisa, that's beautiful. And then curl. Gorgeous. You guys, this is so hard, and you're doing so well. So use your legs because they're your balance. They have to be so fundamentally strong and long and reaching in the opposite direction. Yeah, it almost feels like you're doing a little back bend first, and then you decide, oh, no, I need to roll down. That's what it looked like, Gina. That looked really good. Can we do one more, up and down? Nice, Ava, really lifting. Do you notice where the rib cage is? Are you noticing some movement that's happening in the ribs? The pelvis is definitely moving, right, around your legs. And then the ribs are lifting way away from your pelvis to get all that stretch. Beautiful job, you guys. And go ahead and stay down. I'm gonna watch Mary Ellen, but you guys can stay down a moment, preparing for shoulder bridge. Nice, Mary Ellen. Stretch, 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 stretch. Oh my God, that's so good. Ooh, that's so good, you guys. You can get so much stretch out of that exercise. All right, now, shoulder bridge. So bend your knees, wiggle your butt around a little bit. Just actually wiggle a little bit. I know that sounds really weird, but there's so much movement that you can get in your rib cage and in your hips. You know, I mean, we're not this solid block that we think we are. There's just this, there's a nice little wiggle that we can do. All right, now, you're gonna take your feet, your heels are in line with your sit bones. Take your hands on your, where the hamstrings meet the glutes here, and then just fire those muscles up a little bit. It's hard. They're pretty sophisticated. And then take your hands on your lower belly and fire that up a little bit, just enough, right? And then find the muscles in the abs that are pulling down away from your hands, if your hands are there. So you really have the abs ready to go. And then I feel like this is a relay team, right? Everybody's ready to go, but the first ones that are going to really begin are the lower abs. So you've got this lower connection and the lower abs, and they begin this curl of the spine. But then they toss the baton to the middle and then to the upper. And when you're all the way up there, they're still all doing what they're supposed to do, right? And then on the way down, it's the upper that starts. Baton goes to the middle and all the way down. So that's just one way of looking at it. You can also keep going. You can also think about each vertebra coming off one at a time. And keep going, just wide shoulders. Just enjoy this movement. Just noticing how the spine can articulate. Talk about movement, right? Like, oh my gosh. We're so fine-tuned here that only one vertebra moves at a time. Next time you're up, I'd like you to stay up. And then just notice the up. You still have to have everybody ready, right? Side body, back body ready. And then the collarbone is wide. You're not putting too much pressure on your head or your neck. I'm actually on my shoulder blades. I'm not on my shoulders. I'm going to stand on my left leg. I'm going to use those glute muscles because I'm going to straighten my right leg. I'm going to point as the leg goes up, and I'm going to reach the leg out and flex as it goes down. Point up, flex down. See if you can get a quad stretch in your left leg. Good luck with that. Now, take that right knee, bend it again. Now, stand right where you are, or where you were. Stand on your right leg. Left leg points up, flexes down. Keep going. Get a stretch. Get that knee, that right knee over the right toes. Now pause a moment. Don't be in such a hurry. Breathe and take the upper spine down first, middle, and lower. And then take a figure four stretch here. Just a nice figure four. Anything that you need here to get any tension out. Get some mobility back in. Figure four on the other side. Anything goes, any stretches that you need. Mostly because I can't remember what's next. Oh yeah, let's stretch the legs and roll up to spine twist. So roll yourself up. Oh dear. All right. Sitting again, every time you sit, notice the difference. What has happened in your spine? Is there a little bit more freedom? The arms go out to the side in your peripheral view. Make sure all your connections are working, inner thighs are working. Take an inhale. Exhale, twist from your, mostly rib cage, but from your navel and up to the right. And then come to the center on your inhale and exhale. Let me hear the breath. Exhale. Watch your eyes, right? The eyes are part of this. They're on the horizon, inhaling. They don't go down at all. They just see everything. Keep going. And reach to the ends with this, right? The crown of the head goes up, the tailbone goes down, the feet reach out, the arms reach out. The chest is wide because you're twisting from your torso, not your shoulders. Okay, now we're doing jackknife from here. We're just gonna take a nice roll down. I'm not really gonna guide you, but you're going to feel that it's your pelvis rolling around your legs that are stationary. So you're rolling down, elongating. I get to about here and I want to collapse, but instead I'm just going to try to elongate. So you're still trying to elongate when you do your jackknife. You're not crunching. Let's bring our legs up toward the ceiling. Starting with that lower belly with the pelvis level. It's just like shoulder bridge, right? You're starting, everybody's ready to go, but the baton, it starts with your lower abs. And you're taking your feet more toward where the wall and ceiling meet. And then the legs go higher so that they can pace the ceiling on the way down. Make it sound easy and it's not. What's hard to do is to do this slowly and remembering that you're elongating. So there's nothing going on in the head, neck, and shoulders. They stay exactly the way they were. You're not coming up to there. You have to have so much power in the glutes. It feels like a little rocket ship when I do this. Like my legs are like glutes of the rocket ship, up, 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 up. I'm gonna give you some time to experiment, to just have fun with this. Like Mary Ellen is doing very well. She's taking her hands underneath her hips and she's doing her little bicycle here. It helps you feel this inversion and how much, so it's good to remember that this is an inversion, right? It's not our normal way of being. So because of that, because it's an inversion, you have to give so much energy to the up. You understand what I mean? Like the up is so important here. Yeah. All right. When you're ready, take your time. When you're ready, we're coming over onto our left side for some side leg kicks. So this is where it gets really fun. Because we've done all this work, right? We've done all this work on our front, on our back. It's twisted. And now somebody's asking us to think about the side body, because we're going to be doing side bends too. So you want some space underneath this left side. You can take your left elbow and bend it. You could take the right elbow and bend it. But notice where your hips are. They do not move. Top leg, and your legs go 45 degrees. Top leg is hip level. It's going to swing forward, flexed, and swing back pointed. But the hips don't move. So after my experience with my hips moving, I just assume they might move anytime. So I'm trying to monitor them. Now you're going to rotate the top leg and it's pointing up and flexing down. So try to stretch the side body. Try to use the side body. Try to feel the side body working just to move the leg. It's amazing, it actually does. Keep going. So we're going to do our développé. So you're creasing at your hip, and then you're stretching the leg and lengthening. So remember all that work we did with the front of the hips and the back of the hips? Now we're working the side of the hips. It doesn't get any better. These are so good. Now enveloppé, you open and then bend. So think about the crease that's happening at your side hip. There are 3 of these. You have 1 more, and then your rond de jambe. 3 rond de jambes in each direction. Goes forward, rotates, goes to the back. Hips don't move. Oh, that's a bummer. Wouldn't it be nice if you would? So don't, right? And then go in the opposite direction. Watch the ribs. Everything stays in. The leg just moves around because it feels so good to move that leg in the hip socket. Bicycle is next. Top arm forward, still plugging that arm in, top leg back. Leg comes forward to meet the arm, to bend the knee, and release it from the belly. Bring it in, release it out. One more time, bring it in. What is your side body doing? Now reverse that. Reach back to give yourself a hamstring stretch. Sorry, this is the hamstring stretch. This is the quad stretch. Yeah, watch the belly. My belly just came out just to give myself a quad stretch. Oh my. Now, you're going to cross the top leg over the bottom. I like to come down. You can certainly stay up. But as you go down, don't forget that this is about the side body. This can seem really easy. Try to work the core. And then keep the leg up there and reach it away from you. Keep your hips still. Keep the side body working. If I asked you to do a side bend, could you do it? Let's do it right now. Let's do it right now. Here's we're going to come up on our left side. Our top leg is in front of the bottom leg. Slightly bent knees. Right palm is up. If you're looking at it, notice the gaze. You're standing into your feet, standing into your hand. This is a rainbow. And then the rainbow goes down, not all the way, and comes back up again. Lift the hips, the underneath side. One more. Do the best you can. And then come down and notice the left side and the right side as you go all the way down. And then this is our 3rd side leg kick exercise. I steeple, this is called spider tip fingers. I love this one because I'm gonna lift my top leg, my bottom leg's gonna join it 3 times. And then my top leg's gonna take a ride on the bottom leg 3 times. And then I'm gonna take little walks and long strides. And we're gonna do one more thing while we're here, so don't completely collapse. So bring your legs and arms down. So your left arm is down, your head is on your arm. Your right hand is right in front of you. So I wanna know if you can do a little side bend here. So I can show you, it's gotten a little bit easier for me, but it was very hard to actually, do you see my waist lifting, I hope? After my waist lifted, then I'm gonna come up this way. So I'm just side bending here and side bending here. And side bending here. And if that's not about your side, let me know what it's about. Never coming over onto the belly. All right then. That was just a little gyrokinesis for you guys. Yeah. So now, head rests in the hands on your belly, or the hands are underneath your hips. Heels are together, toes apart, belly's working, back is working, side body working. legs lift from the thigh and they open and close without moving anything else. Belly still has to be pulled in. Oh my, I really feel this. And then you're gonna sit back into child's pose. Only to go over onto your right side to do that whole series. You know, this is where it gets hairy because you have to fit all these exercises in. And if I add one little exercise more, it's hard. All right, so you're stretching yourself out. You know it's about your side body. There's no doubt about that. You're gonna bend your right elbow. Bring your legs 45 degrees. Maybe you bend your left elbow. All right, there's space here, there's work here everywhere. Top leg is hip level. It's going to take a flex forward and a point back. Don't move your hips, just move your leg. You're creasing at your hip. You have to figure out what's your leg and what's your hip. That's the best part about this, the anatomy. Now, rotate the top leg, point up, flex down. I have my hand right here where my hip crease is on my side. I'm gonna flex up and point down. I'm stretching. I hope you are. This is a huge stretch everywhere. And then develope. Bend here, stretch your legs, stretch it out. Keep going. There's 3 of these. The belly tends to take a little vacation. Up, bend, close. Up, bend, close. Articulate through your feet, pointing and flexing as well. All right, now rond de jambe. You're taking a slight point and it's going all the way around. It should feel really good. Nice and liberal. And one more. That thigh weighs a ton. And then the opposite direction, right? You have to really work that leg. Make sure you're not lounging on this right side. One more, coming into our bicycle. Top arm forward, top leg back, bring the leg to meet the arm, to bend it in, and release. If you're tight in your hips, this is gonna loosen you up. So really engage your mind into your body and what's happening. And then you're gonna really take your opposite direction. Don't let that hip collapse, right? It's still elongated away from your rib cage. So hard. Figure 4. We tend to collapse here and stop thinking about things, but you know that your side bends are coming up. So you're lifting and lowering. Belly still elongates and pulls in. Back muscle still working, side body still working. You're just on your side. Now you're going to take these circles up here. So try not to collapse in any way. Elongate, stretch. Both directions of your circle, so good. And then we'll come up to do our side bend. So this right hand, right underneath my right shoulder. My left leg is in front of my right. I'm really pulled in here because it's really hard. My left palm is facing up. I'm going to stand into my feet and my hand, and I'm going to move my underneath side up. I'm in a rainbow. And down, but not all the way down, to come back up. Nice. Keep your inner thighs working. If you have socks on like me, it's a little slippery. Yikes. That was dumb. And then come all the way down. All the way down. We did it. Now this one will feel great. So you have steepled fingers. Sorry, spider tipped, whatever they are. Now stretch yourself out so that you can take your top leg hip level. Stretch it out and let the bottom leg to join it. So I always pretend that my legs are in this competition to reach longer. Who's gonna win? And then that top leg takes a ride on the bottom leg. You should feel the side body right now. I hope you do. And then little walks. And then long strides. And then our new exercise, all the way down on your right arm. Your left hand comes in right in line with your chest. And now what you're going to do is lift your Right side off the mat. And then come up into this shape. So one here, it's really hard for me. One here. One more. Just really see if you can feel that. Getting so much better. It used to be that no one could discern it at all. And then go onto your back. All right. So finally, we're on our back, kind of for the culmination of all of this. So our teaser's in a good place, although we're tired. There's that. But in terms of all of your openings and the muscles that you've engaged, you are in the best place possible to do your teaser. So finding your position for your arms, I'm going to keep my arms down today, and I'm going to drop my ribs down so that I can come over them, and then my legs are going to lift. I'm going to find my teaser. I'm going to celebrate it, and I'm going to curl. Remember, everything, this is already here, but the lower belly, middle, and upper. And then on the way up, it's upper, middle, lower. Keep going, up and down. Beautiful. If you want to, you can leave your legs there at a 45-degree angle and come up and join them with your body. Yeah, nice, Cheryl. Good. If you do that, you guys are almost all in the same spot. Let's all come up. Cheryl, hold it. You're doing great holding it. And then you're going to take your hands behind you and lift your legs up. So if you can straighten your elbows, great. If you can't, you can also come down on your forearms, but your legs are going to be straight. You can take your arms, widen them out to the side to get them straight. You're going to take little hip circles here. This is kind of a misnomer because I don't want your hips to move. I would just like your legs to move. So let's make it a leg circle in both directions. And then here's the thing. Let's make it a hip circle on purpose. Can you feel the difference, you guys? Oh, I like the hip circle, don't you? Much easier. Can you feel it in your belly? The answer is yes. Okay, so let's go on to the belly and swim. So I'm moving us along because I have to. It's at 12:57. So we're going to swim. So make sure you're all plugged in, right? You really feel so swimming is another exercise that feels perfect after everything that you've just done. So what I'm going to do is look where I'm swimming. I'm going to engage everything, bring my head, neck, and shoulders up, and my legs up. And then I'm going to begin to swim. I'm going to press down with the foot and the hand of the legs hand and leg that are on the floor, so I can feel that opposition. And then briefly sit back into child's pose if you would. Take your time in your child's pose, no rush. Feel your breath. So from here, I'm going to ask you to come onto your seat. Let's do just 2 boomerangs and a seal to end. So boomerang feels great because we're right in the right place. You're just going to take your right thigh across your left. Hands are underneath your shoulders. You're going to elongate to scoop, to roll back. It's an inversion to roll back up. It's a rolling exercise. Open the curtain, delay the descent of your legs as you're pushing your legs down with your core. Open the arms, stack your spine back up. Go again. Scoop. Keep your head, neck, and shoulders off. Switch your legs here. Elongate as you come up into your teaser. And then open the curtain. Take a bow. The spine long. Stack your spine back up and go right into seal. Do as many seals as we can. It's 1 o'clock. And I want you to end on your seal. So if you don't know seal, Your arms go inside of your legs and you hold on to the outside of your ankles. Your gaze is important here. There's 3 open and closes of the groin area, then you roll back in an inversion again. Oh my. So we have to end, but thank you so much. That was just awfully quick. Awfully quick. I thought it was quick.
Susan.
Want to speak? You are.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
Susan, like it seems like the gym is closing at the end of October. Are there still going to be class? Yes?
No, they're
This
still
class?
saying that maybe we can do this, that they are going to support us.
Okay.
But don't quote me on that because I don't know that for sure.
Well, if the gym doesn't, Susan, are you going to try to look for alternative ways to offer a
Planning to
class?
probably do the same thing from home.
Oh, okay. Okay, and then we would just sign up with you directly instead.
Correct. But
Great,
I'll hopefully know in a week or 2. Let's have
okay.
I will definitely let you know. But feel free to reach out to me and ask me too.
Because this class is like too much a part of my life now. I don't want to give it up.
I love teaching it. So
And we love you, so.
take care, you guys.
Okay, have a good week.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Gina. Thank
So
you.
I know I'm